All right, here we are at Atlantic Canada's first Seafood Industry Innovation Summit. I want to tell you, a lot of cool things happened in the last couple of days. I just watched you, Kyle, over there explaining a product to a gentleman that's building a new fishing vessel. He seemed very interested in what you were all about, so why don't we start there? Tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Kyle. I'm with Deepchill Solutions. I'm the Director of Sales, and what we do is very simple. We get food colder, faster, so it stays fresher longer. It's very simple. Quality and temperature are interrelated, and I say this story all the time to people just because it really hits the point home. My daughter's 3, and we give her milk in the morning when she goes out to daycare, and if there's any milk left in that container by the time she comes home, it's not milk anymore, it's like yogurt or cheese. And so that same thing is happening with the protein that we're taking out of the oceans. If we don't get it cold enough, fast enough, then it doesn't stay fresh enough for long enough. And that's why a lot of the catch that we have today, like the herring and the mackerel, is not fit for human consumption by the time it gets here. And it's really only used for byproducts and for bait. So we want to make a difference here in Newfoundland. We want to make a difference, especially on the pelagic side. And that's why we're here.
So tell me now, what does the product look like? I'm sure that you got different scales and different solutions, but give me a kind of an overview of what your products look like.
So we make slurry ice. We invented slurry ice 45 years ago, and we pull seawater through a heat exchanger, but we don't let the ice form on the walls of the heat exchanger. So you get these pearl-like ice crystals. They look like tiny balls or spheres under a microscope. And we're talking like 0.1 millimeters in diameter. So this microscopic ice. And because it's so tiny, it fits into all those nooks and crannies in the fish or the mussels or the whatever. And that's how we're able to suck the heat out of the product so effectively.
Right. And do you move this ice through the product, or does the product stay?
It's more of a set it and forget it. And that's one interesting thing. So when people think about the traditional technology being RSW, they think of this huge flow rate and these massive pumps and how the water needs to fully penetrate and get through that fish. But we're something completely different. We pour it on the fish or pump it into the fish, and then we walk away.
You know, so one of the big themes of this particular summit was a lot of talk around automation, a lot of talk about, you know, a workforce that's shrinking, complicated to get a workforce in place. How does automation solve that? And furthermore, how does automation create different jobs, better paying jobs? Right? Talk to me about your lens on automation.
So I've been to a number of plants. And the one thing that's in common is there's always this small army of people whose sole existence in life is to move, maintain, manage, and shovel ice, and then take those empty containers back again so that they can rinse and repeat. And so if you can imagine it, it's a very intense job shoveling ice or doing any of this stuff. So we automate that process and replace everything with a hose or a button where they press a button and an almost limitless amount of deep chill comes out of the hose. And one success story that we've really had bringing more women into the workforce is in the mussel industry. So before, you would need like big strapping gentlemen shoveling ice all the time. But now we've, through automation and through technology, we've allowed people who don't have the physical strength to be shoveling ice all day to just pour it over the product. So it's really opened up the amount of productivity in plants because anybody can go on the icing line, anybody can help the mussels, anybody can manage the totes.
You know, by the sounds of it, I mean, it sounds like the return on investment for your product would be pretty quick if you're replacing a lot of staff. And not only that, but you know, the type of work that they were doing before is dangerous. It's slippery. You can throw your back out. It can injure you for life. So what you're offering is a much safer solution.
Yeah, and we don't like to think that the plant will cut those positions because they're already having problems trying to attract enough workers in the first place. That's why we have so many temporary foreign workers here in Atlantic Canada. So the plan here is to repurpose those people inside the plant to become more efficient as an operator, more productive as an operator, and get more things done with the same number of people. That's really what we're looking to do here.
Yeah, sort of replace the vacancies, because, right? But actually, I hear you. Yeah, is take those people, retool them in a safer setting, and they're able to be much more productive throughout the day.
Correct. Yes.
It amazes me that everybody isn't using your product. It's just getting that message out, right?
It's getting that message out there, and it's one of the reasons why we do these shows, and we're so excited to be at this Innovation Summit, to have people experience our technology, see how everything works, and then talk about how it applies to their particular situation and their particular plans.
And Kyle, more than that, I would argue that you're part of the thought leadership here, right? You're driving the conversation in the sector to say that things can be done differently, and here's one way to do it, right? So it's fantastic. Congratulations for what you do.
Thank you.
And thanks for being on the show. We appreciate your lens.
Not a problem. Let's keep those wins coming.
That's great.